Welcome to Everything on Everything. Today we're facing ongoing disputes regarding our possible space ventures. Wait, okay, let us not exaggerate. Today we are looking at two companies that are similar but different in the aerospace industry, namely SpaceX versus Blue Origin. We will be looking at their different approaches, how they tend to go on regarding their company aims and goals, and lastly, their somewhat rivalry. But before we continue, please subscribe to our channel and switch on the notification bell to get more of our videos. And please do check out the Express and Encompass podcast. It is available on Spotify and Anchor. The epic clash that contains all the components of a Hollywood movie, with rival billionaires Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin taking over the space race in the 21st century. The battle for celestial supremacy between Tesla founder Musk and Amazon's Bezos is not some basic rocket measuring contest. Both men are, however, in their own ways engineers, great problem solvers to the core. For both of them, the mission of going to space entails the solid attempt to confront urgent challenges facing humanity. However, they just happen to differ on the precise nature they're setting up to solve. For Elon Musk, on one hand, it is all about guaranteeing humanity's survival by setting up a backup civilization on Mars. Musk has rather openly noted on several occasions that humanity should make every effort to make Mars a base establishment before World War III, because such a conflict or unforeseeable natural disaster could take the scientific projects back centuries. Jeff Bezos' theory, on the other hand, is more of a contrast, as he believes that mankind would do just fine, but planet Earth itself will simply run out of energy sooner or later. Moreover, with the global population likely to hit 9 billion in little to not very much time at all. Or as Jeff Bezos himself puts it, we get to choose. Do we want stasis and rationing, or do we want dynamism and growth? Naturally, as the world runs out of room on work, the natural way is to simply go up. And, well, they both agree on that. But here, Blue Origin's very marketable vision differs from Musk's, and Bezos isn't afraid to point that out publicly. So it's fair to assume that he might not be planning on going on Musk's colony, which is supposedly going to be up and running in 2050. Certainly, Bezos' aim seeks a theatrical break with a traditional so-called planetary chauvinism of those who can only visit landlocked colonies anchored to the rocky surfaces of distant worlds. Jeff Bezos' vision is inspired by the late 60s and early 70s physicist Gerard O'Neill. The plan for human beings to ultimately leave planet Earth and expand almost limitlessly out of space, but instead of occupying domes or Martian subsurface caverns, as suggested by the more feasible SpaceX scenarios, Blue Origin is betting the future of mankind will reside on vast floating space stations. Crazy, right? As many as 1 trillion human beings could comfortably live and thrive in these artificial gravity utopias, with, as Bezos puts it, 1,000 Einstein emerging as a natural consequence. As many as 1 trillion human beings could comfortably live and thrive in these artificial gravity utopias, with, as Bezos puts it, 1,000 Einsteins emerging as a natural consequence. Though Bezos can mock Musk's lean to his approach, SpaceX has all the above bragging rights and a clear lead in the tech department, at least in the aerospace race. Just recently, in the month of November 2020, a SpaceX rocket ducted with the International Space Station as production of the much anticipated Starship at Elon Musk Okashika shipyard continues to ramp up a pace ready for those great awaited initial Mars landings later on in the decade. Blue Origin, content with itself thus far with minor orbit experiments and preparing for its promised space tourism project. In all fairness though, Blue Origin has won the highly coveted NASA contract to design and build a landing model for its Artemis program. That's to put the first woman on the moon in the year of 2024. And as exciting as the big, heavy rockets and moonwalks are, perhaps the most instructive way of framing the differences between SpaceX and Blue Origin is to look at how they are funded, because that might just explain enough. Elon Musk made his first fortune in the year 2000 when PayPal was sold to eBay. He walked away from that deal with a whopping $180 million. However, in the space program budgeting, that amount of money was way too insufficient. Well, not at least when you are also simultaneously inventing the master-minded electric car. We can only imagine. Musk's dealings with Tesla have made him so much more wealthier in the past years. However, SpaceX's early failures, including 3 bruised launches, have threatened to tackle his spacefaring dreams altogether. But because he's such a hustler, he won contracts from NASA and other parties with billions, which seemingly kept the company alive. But to this day, funding is an ever-present problem in SpaceX. The Starlink satellite program, which is worth remembering, is partly up there to improve internet access for less advantaged populations, but mostly to generate more income that can finance the Elon Musk mission. On the contrary to this, the financial position of the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, is quite healthy, as expected, I guess. Every year or so, Bezos sells leveraged proportion of Amazon's shares and donates the funds to Blue Origin. This funding model can explain why Blue Origin can appear to lag behind SpaceX, because Elon Musk is constantly chasing contracts and working under intense pressure to generate revenue for his out-of-space adventures, whereas Bezos enjoys the luxury of time. However, though Bezos is slightly slower than his rival Elon Musk, he surely plans on letting Blue Origin take its steps and tread lightly. And just like SpaceX, Blue Origin has recently been granted approval to launch its own orbital broadband network known as Project Kuiper. The $10 billion exercise sets out to launch 6,000 satellites into orbit. The crucial difference is Amazon will already have substantial power over the internet for its huge web services division. Well, there you have it, folks. 2 men and 2 companies with very different ideas. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and switch on the notification bar for more of our videos.